Today, I'm going to give you 5 real ways to make extra money during event weeks without investing a lot, without becoming a hardcore entrepreneur, without giving up your entire weekend. Let's go. The stadium gets packed because of the World Cup, the city overflows, and time becomes scarce. Space becomes scarce. Calm becomes scarce. And when those 3 things become rare, guess what? People pay for whoever can give them back time, space, and peace of mind. The good news, none of this requires a degree. It just requires you to be a little more organized than the average person. And let's be honest, the bar is very low. Now, let's move on to tip number 1. Be the driver who transports people from the hotel to the stadium using your own car. And this one is so simple that it almost makes you suspicious. If it's that simple, what's the catch? The catch is that, during major events, simple becomes luxury. You're not selling a ride, you're selling certainty. The person who came for the World Cup, for a big game, for a packed event, doesn't want to live through an urban adventure at 10:30 p.m., trying to figure out if the app is going to work, if the driver is going to cancel, if the price is going to double, or if they're going to end the night walking around the city wearing a team shirt with 12% phone battery and their dignity on low power mode. Because everyone thinks they're an independent adult until they leave a stadium with more than 70,000 people trying to request a ride at the same time. So this is where you come in. You have a car. You live relatively nearby, or you can move around that area. You can agree on a fixed time. And most importantly, you can offer something that, on event days, is worth a lot of money: predictability. And before someone thinks, "Oh, but I don't want to become a professional driver," relax. Nobody here is telling you to buy a van, wear a uniform, open an emotional LLC, and call your car the Executive Premium Experience. That's not the idea. The idea is much simpler. You choose 1 or 2 departure times and 1 or 2 return times. You arrange everything in advance. You charge a fixed price. And you take people from their hotel, Airbnb, or agreed meeting point to somewhere near the stadium, and then pick them up afterward. That's it. And the best part is, because everything is arranged in advance, you work with a set schedule. You define the departure time, define the return time, agree on the meeting point, and already know exactly how much you're going to make. That puts you in a much more comfortable position. While many people will be trying to figure out transportation at the last minute, you'll already have everything organized. You take the client at the agreed time, enjoy the gap between one trip and the other, watch the game if you want to, and then do the pickup at the scheduled time. Simple, direct, with a beginning, middle, and end. It's extra income with planning. You're not just selling the act of driving, you're selling peace of mind. Think about the tourist. They arrived in a city they may not know. It's World Cup week. Everything is more expensive. Everything is more crowded. Traffic looks like it was designed by someone who woke up angry. And all they want is to get to the stadium without turning the afternoon into an international patience test. That person doesn't want to save $4 by choosing a questionable option. They want to know, is someone going to pick me up? Am I going to arrive on time? After the game, will I be able to get back without spending an hour stuck in the middle of the crowd? Will I have to negotiate with someone on the spot? Will I get back to the hotel before I lose the will to live? Because after a packed game, nobody wants another experience. The person already had the experience. Now, they want a shower and a bed. And that's where your service becomes valuable. When you say, "I'll pick you up at 3:30 p.m. at the hotel, drop you off at the agreed point near the stadium, and pick you up at 10:45 p.m. at the same place," that becomes a relief. You've removed a huge worry from that person's mind. So yes, people do pay for scheduled transportation, because deep down they're not paying for the seat in your car. They're paying for peace. The agreement needs to be clear. My departure is at 3:30 p.m. My return is at 10:45 p.m. Meeting point, entrance X. Tolerance, 10 minutes. After that, unfortunately, I won't be able to wait. Does that sound strict? Maybe, but that's exactly what makes the service professional. People respect things more when there are rules. When you're clear, the client understands they're dealing with someone organized. And organization creates trust. You also protect your time. You turn transportation moments into income, and the time in between stays free. That's very different from working at an event for 8, 10, or 12 hours straight. Here, you're taking advantage of a specific window of demand. It's almost like fishing at the exact moment when the fish are jumping into the boat. And if the fish are jumping into the boat, maybe it's not the best time to say, "I don't know, sounds like too much work." Of course, it requires responsibility. You need to arrive on time. You need to drive safely. You need to have everything agreed in advance. But the effort is concentrated. And since you already worked the whole week, that matters a lot. Because nobody here is looking for another parallel life to manage. You want extra income, not a second marriage with Google Calendar. And maybe for the first time, watching the game won't be just entertainment. It will also be part of a strategy. You could literally be sitting on the couch thinking, "Look at that beautiful corner kick. And look how beautiful that return trip money already booked is too." You don't need to create demand. It already exists. During World Cup season, the problem is out on the street, literally. People need to get around. Ride apps get expensive. Taxis can be hard to find. Buses can get packed. Parking turns into a soap opera, and walking long distances can be awful, especially for families, older people, or tourists who don't know the city well. You're not trying to sell something the person doesn't know they need. You're showing up at the exact moment when they're already thinking, "How am I going to get there? How am I going to get back? Is it going to be impossible to get a ride afterward?" And that's one of the best positions to be in when selling any service. When the problem is already clear. You don't need to give a speech. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to show up dancing on the neighboring social network explaining 3 reasons why you shouldn't sleep on the sidewalk after the game. Adults love clarity, especially adults with bills to pay, weird knees, and very little patience for improvising. How many times have you paid more just because you wanted to solve something quickly? Exactly. Your client has too, and that's the logic. You're offering a solution at the exact moment when the person wants to avoid a headache. Tip number 2, temporary luggage storage. Imagine you're traveling to attend the World Cup. You've just landed. You're excited. The match starts in a few hours, but there's one small problem. You're carrying a large suitcase, a backpack, maybe a shopping bag, and that jacket that seemed like a great idea at the airport. Now what? Are you really going to spend the next 4 or 5 hours dragging all that around the city? Probably not. And that's exactly where an interesting opportunity to make money during the World Cup comes in. There's a service that many tourists desperately need, yet hardly anyone talks about it. Temporary luggage storage. It sounds simple because it really is. And sometimes the best opportunities are the simplest ones. Think about the situation. Thousands of tourists arrive in the city every morning. Many are just passing through on a long layover. Others are staying far away from the stadium. But they all have one thing in common. They don't want to spend the entire day carrying their luggage around. And honestly, nobody buys a World Cup ticket dreaming of spending the afternoon hugging a 50-pound suitcase. Nobody wants that. You're solving a real problem, and people pay to solve problems, not to listen to motivational speeches, not to download yet another app, but to solve problems. Imagine a tourist with 6 free hours before kickoff. They're tired. They want to explore. Take photos, see the city, grab lunch, maybe even have a beer with fellow fans. But there's one giant suitcase ruining all those plans. At that point, paying a few dollars to leave their luggage somewhere safe sounds like a fantastic deal. Because what they're buying isn't just storage space, it's freedom. And freedom tends to sell very well. On top of that, it doesn't require a lot of physical effort from you. You receive the luggage, tag it, log it, store it, return it later. Done. Of course, organization and security are essential, but the work itself is relatively simple. You're not chasing customers all day. You're not transporting merchandise. Most of the time, you're simply managing a space in an organized way. It's almost like getting paid to temporarily take care of something someone else doesn't want to carry. And let's be honest, if you've ever had kids, you've probably spent years working as an unpaid luggage storage service. Bag, jacket, toy, water bottle, snack, another toy. And somehow you're carrying all of it. So you already have experience. The only difference is now you're getting paid. Best of all, you can still enjoy the World Cup. This might be the part that surprises people the most. When people hear side hustle, they immediately imagine sacrificing the entire event. But that's not always the case. Many tourists need this service before the match starts, or right after it ends. That means a good portion of your time can still be spent enjoying the atmosphere, watching games, meeting fans, and experiencing the excitement of the tournament. In other words, you're not choosing between making money and enjoying the World Cup. In many cases, you can do both, and that changes the equation completely. Now think about this. During the World Cup, thousands of people spend money on match tickets. Thousands more spend money on transportation. And many of them would gladly spend money simply to avoid carrying a suitcase around all day. The real question is, how many people will be looking for this solution at the exact same time? Because when millions of people gather around a single event, dozens of small problems appear. And every problem represents an opportunity for someone. What's interesting is that the biggest opportunities aren't always the most glamorous. When people think about making money during the World Cup, they imagine something huge. But very often, the money is hidden inside basic needs. Someone needs food. Someone needs transportation. Someone needs to find a restroom. And someone needs a safe place to leave that giant suitcase. It's simple. But simple doesn't mean small. In fact, some of the best side hustles start exactly this way, by noticing a problem that everyone sees, but almost nobody decides to solve. So here's something worth thinking about. If you were visiting an unfamiliar city, carrying a heavy suitcase, with several hours to kill before a World Cup match, how much would you pay to spend the day without carrying that weight around? Probably more than you think. And the answer to that question might be exactly the opportunity someone else is looking for to earn extra income. Because sometimes the business isn't about selling something new. It's simply about providing comfort at the right moment. And during the World Cup, comfort can be worth a lot of money. Because, let's be honest, a suitcase only feels light at the airport. After 3 hours of walking around the city, it develops a personality. After 5 hours, it turns into a toxic relationship. It's always with you, influencing your decisions, stopping you from doing fun things. And all you want is a polite way to get rid of it for a few hours. And that's exactly what you're offering. Not luggage storage, but a few hours of freedom. Because the tourist isn't thinking, wow, what an amazing storage room. They're thinking, finally, I can walk around without looking like a pack mule. And the bigger the event, the bigger the problem becomes. Imagine thousands of people arriving in the same city, thousands of suitcases, thousands of backpacks, thousands of people looking for the exact same thing. A safe place to leave their belongings while they enjoy the experience they came for. And when a lot of people have the same problem at the same time, there's usually money on the other side of the solution. So here's a simple question. If 100 tourists pass through your area during a major event, and only 5 of them need a place to store their luggage, how many opportunities have you already ignored? Sometimes we think making money requires a revolutionary idea. But often the money is hiding inside something much simpler. Someone is uncomfortable. You provide comfort. Someone is wasting time. You provide convenience. Someone is carrying a problem. You provide a solution. And during the World Cup, the opportunity may not be inside the stadium. It might be right outside. Tip number 3, turn your garage into a phone charging station. Many people look for complicated ways to make money during the World Cup, but sometimes an opportunity comes from something you already have. A garage, a few extension cords, and some electrical outlets. Think about it. Thousands of tourists will be walking around the city for hours, using GPS, taking photos, recording videos, sending messages, checking digital tickets, and all of that drains battery life. Now imagine turning your garage into a small charging station. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, just a few well-organized extension cords. Some chairs, maybe a folding table, and a clean space where people can stop for a while. The idea is simple. You're not selling electricity, you're selling charging time. For example, 20 minutes of charging, 30 minutes of charging, 1 hour of charging. The tourist plugs in their phone, sits down for a bit, rests, keeps using the device normally, and when their time is up, they continue on with their day. What's interesting is that you can serve multiple people at the same time. A single power strip can support several chargers, and an average garage can accommodate dozens of customers throughout the day. Now think about the math. Imagine charging just a few dollars for 20 or 30 minutes of charging. It doesn't sound like much. But during a massive event, the goal isn't to make a lot of money from one person. The goal is to help many people with a very simple service. And the best part? Once everything is set up, there's very little physical effort involved. You're not cooking. You're not driving. You're not delivering anything. You're simply making use of a resource you already own. And let's be honest, there aren't many situations where you can make money while the electrical outlets do all the work. In fact, this might be the only time in your life when looking at a fully occupied power strip feels like staring at a tiny money-making machine. There's another interesting advantage too. The more professional your setup looks, the more trust it creates. A simple sign, a few organized chairs, extension cords neatly arranged, maybe even a visible timer showing how much charging time each customer has purchased. Small details can turn an ordinary electrical outlet into a real service. And that's exactly what you're offering, not electricity, convenience. Because during major events, people don't just pay for products. They pay to save time. They pay to avoid hassle. They pay for convenience. And during the World Cup, a well-organized garage with a few power outlets might end up being worth far more than most people realize. And now, I want to know something. What's the most unexpected idea you've heard so far? Because let's be honest, if someone had told me a few years ago that a garage, a few power outlets, and a handful of extension cords could turn into a money-making opportunity during the World Cup, I probably would have laughed, and then immediately started doing the math. If you have a crazy idea, a creative idea, or even an idea that sounds completely ridiculous for making money during the World Cup, leave it in the comments. Because honestly, some of the best ideas start exactly that way. Looking strange during the first 5 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It helps more than you think. Subscribe to the channel because we've still got plenty of ideas to explore. And keep an eye on upcoming videos. Because while most people will be watching the World Cup thinking only about the games, we'll keep looking for the hidden opportunities that appear whenever millions of people gather in the same place. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, if you ever look at a power outlet and see a business opportunity, don't blame me.